Thank you, Mr. Sehgal. Good afternoon, everybody. I know this is the last presentation in this session, and I'm not going to bore you with a lot of time here. So quickly coming to the topic, my name is Yati Agrawal. I'm working with London IP in the India Center. London IP has been in the IP space for a little over 65 years now, and we recently started the India Center just last year. Today I'm going to talk about a little bit about the strategy, what companies should take. It's nothing new for everybody, we all know about it, but it's just being a little more mindful about what we already know and implementing that in our daily lives. All my friends here have spoken a lot about IP creation and how to maintain the quality in patents. I'm going to a little bit talk about what after creation. Sometimes we stop at the level of creation and we stop thinking about monetizing and commercializing that portfolio later on. So going into that, why do we need to reshape our strategy? The world economy has been on a turmoil. It is no more stable now. We see years of depression coming twice or thrice in every decade now. Things can change overnight, which has brought in a lot of cost pressures to our support teams. IP teams and generally all the organizations are a part of the support function. And cost pressures have tremendously gone up on these cost functions. The value that comes out of IP is not instant. It is something that gets realized after years. It may take 15 years or 20 years to realize what that IP was actually generated for. Sometimes a lot of patents even go waste, and the value is never realized. The contribution to revenue that the patents make is also not instant. It is something that happens after years or decades of refiling the patents. So that again increases the cost pressures on the IP departments because they're not able to show to the organizations what benefits the patents can get to the organizations. As we all know, the IP portfolios generally comprise what the company has internally filed, what they've acquired by understanding their business lines, by in-licensing patents, cross-licensing, they do out-license patents, patents do expire, discarded. So the portfolio keeps on changing constantly. Portfolio is not something which is built at one go. This is an ongoing changing process which keeps on changing every now and then. And that is what the company has to be mindful about. What do they want their portfolio to look at a particular point of time? It is not something which they can do today and reap the benefits for next 20 years. It is a constant process that somebody has to keep on reinventing and rethinking about. When we invest in patents, billions of dollars go into R&D and actually filing for patents. We come up with thousands of invention disclosures, maybe half of them go for patent filing. Again, 1/4 of them actually get granted. And then in the due course of time, companies do get them abandoned as well. So do we really use that billions of dollars that was actually gone into R&D? When we do R&D, when we file for patents, we think that we will get these benefits. We'll get a lot of freedom, security to practice our inventions. We'll get an edge above our competition, and we'll be able to practice our inventions in a freer environment. We'll get a bargaining power, whether that is during acquisition, mergers, anytime. When we create a patent portfolio, we believe that will give us a good bargaining power in the market. We, of course, expect greater revenues by filing patents. But do we really get all these benefits just by filing patents? Is filing patents the end of your marketing, your IP strategy, and then we can just sit back and relax and expect these benefits to happen on their own? A dormant patent portfolio actually does not help in any way. One, of course, your investment in patents goes for a toss. And also, if the patent portfolio remains dormant, it leads to increased costs. Because having a patent itself a cost-bearing measure, you have to maintain the patents. It's a constant, different countries have a different maintenance fee structure. In US, you have to give after every 3.5 years. India, Europe, you have to pay every year. So it keeps on incurring a constant cost in terms of maintenance. You have to maintain the staff, to keep on paying the maintenance fee, to manage that portfolio. It's a constant staff requirement which you need to maintain the portfolio. And again, incurred cost with that. You have to keep on policing and seeing where the patents are infringing upon, which patents you can buy, how to maintain those patents, and constantly policing them, which is again a cost-bearing part. So overall, if people just file and forget about the portfolio and keep it dormant, it is incurring a lot of cost to the organizations, which in today's date is something which everybody needs to be really, really careful about. Traditionally, most of the organizations have majorly focused on IP creation, filing and prosecution, which is of course the main essence of creating an IP portfolio. But do we only need to focus on creating a good value patent and just filing and prosecution and just focus on getting patents? What after that? What after once you get patents? Do we really focus on managing them? How to manage portfolios, how to get their costs reduced, how to align them with the business? Do we really think about commercialization every now and then? When we get to patent filing and prosecution, do we really think about what is the innovation that the company is heading towards? Do we really align that with our business lines and our future businesses which the companies do want to get into? What I'm going to talk here about is a slight change in what we advise we should focus on. Of course, filing and prosecution remains the main essence of IP portfolio creation. But what I believe is that we should increase our focus on management, commercialization, and innovation right from day one. We should start thinking about how we want to use these patents in future, right from the stage when we go into innovation, R&D, and patent filing. This is not something that comes later on. This is something which has to be dealt from day one and has to be thought about. How can somebody really achieve it? How can we have this focused approach from day one? We need to define what IP do we want to get. Companies like IBM, they have humongous amount of patents. They are one of the top filers in the US. They do get patents on managing queues in a restroom. Is that something do they really want to get into? Is that something that aligns with their business line? If yes, why not? They should definitely file for those inventions. But sometimes what happens is in organizations, in big organizations, there are so many inventors from different R&D departments, from different global centers, and there is a race to file patents. People get rewards to file for patents, and sometimes people just file patents for the sake of it, for getting a patent on their name, for getting a monetary reward from the organization or a promotion. But is that what organizations are looking for? Maybe not. They want to file patents which align with their business, which can actually help them in their future strategies, which can help them in higher revenue, higher market share. So right from day one, it is really important that we should focus on where our business is heading towards. Where do we want our business to be in 5 years down the line? And accordingly plan for patents today. We need to combine them with the commercial strength that we can get out of it. Some patents are just incremental inventions, which we spoke about earlier as well. Now, these incremental inventions do not really give us any commercial viability in the future. So, understanding cost versus revenue is very important, that how much are we investing on a patent right now and how much can we reap from it in the coming years. And accordingly, file the combined patents which have a high value from a business perspective and commercial perspective, and those should be the ones which should be actually filed with the PTOs. Just a reiteration of what we spoke about earlier as well, that the number of patents does not determine the quality of patents. So just because you got your patents granted by a particular PTO does not imply that the patent was good enough. So again, saying that if you have a patent does not mean that you needed the patent. So think about whether that patent is any good for the company or not, and not just keep on gaining in numbers. When it comes to management, now what if when we develop this portfolio and we get a good portfolio at hand, which has been well thought about and which aligns with the company's business, it is really important that we manage it properly. Because even a good portfolio which is very well aligned with the company's business, if it is not managed well, it is of no use to the organization. So the management is again a regular process which has to continue over the life cycle of the patents. It has to start from day one. A company needs to understand and consolidate their portfolios. They should have a bird's eye view of what their portfolio looks like. And they should understand where do they stand in the market vis-a-vis their competition. A good example here would be Apple. They really know what they have. Every patent that they file is worthy enough, and they're very mindful of what they're filing and where they're heading towards. It needs to be aligned to what your business is, where your core businesses are, where your non-core businesses are. And that will help organizations to understand where they need to cross-license, out-license, and in-license. So the knowledge of the portfolio at any point of time is extremely important. When Apple litigated against Nokia, Nokia was ready with their 12 patents to go back to Apple because they knew where they stood vis-a-vis Apple. They knew where their inventions were competing with Apple or where they were ahead of Apple. So that is what organizations need to do today. They need to be prepared with answers even before anything happens against them. And accordingly, once they have a good idea of their portfolio, once they have a good bird's view perspective of where they stand vis-a-vis the market, they would be able to commercialize the patents in time. Because patents are not forever. You only get a patent for 20 years or, depending on different geographies, maybe 21 years, 19 years, but it's a limited time period that you get to use your patents. If they're not used well during that time, you lose them forever. These days, companies are going towards, new technologies, which may not even be realistic in next 50 years. People are talking about fusion and, inventions on fusion. Do we really think that this is something which will be realistic in the next 20 years? Maybe not. Why file for patents which are not realistic enough in the next 20 years? Let them come with time. Why invest today which you can't realize in the next 20 years? So it has to be done with a commercial perspective. The benefits that we spoke about, which could be probable with any patent portfolio, do we get security and freedom with all the patents? Absolutely not. Stats say that only 1.5% patents are ever litigated. Then why file for the remaining 98.5%? Why not prune the patents in the beginning and only file for them, or maybe 50% of them, which you think could be really useful enough in future? Only 50% of the patents are ever renewed. So when the companies get to know in 5 years or 10 years that they're not going to renew them or they eventually abandon them, why not think about it in the beginning and not file for them at all? Bargaining power, revenues, around $1 trillion were wasted in the last 2 years because of patents which got lapsed or expired and were never commercialized. There was no revenue which came out of those patents. So this is, as I said, it's going to be a small presentation. I just wanted to talk about and create awareness about that. We sometimes